Well, good afternoon, Willie. Hey, looks like you got mail. You know, when I first glanced at my bill, I noticed that the charges were broken down into 3 primary categories: the actual energy or kilowatt hours used, and then something called a power cost recovery factor, and last, of course, the base fee for my electric service. I quickly learned that, like most cooperatives, Grayson-Collin Electric is a distributor of electricity, meaning the wholesale power is purchased from a generation and transmission cooperative in large quantities in order to gain a greater cost efficiency. The Grayson-Collin Electric Co-op is actually a member of the Rayburn Country Electric Cooperative. That's right, co-ops can be members of other co-ops too. Grayson-Collin purchases electricity from Rayburn Country in order to get better pricing on some portions of wholesale power. Now, understand that not all cost factors can be fixed or controlled given the constant fluctuations that often occur on a monthly basis. For instance, fuel costs such as natural gas, coal, or hydropower can increase or decrease periodically as they're used to generate electricity. But for the most part, Grayson-Collin Electric is able to secure a fixed fuel cost through its Rayburn Country Co-op membership. There are numerous other factors that are driven by statewide or regional demands for electricity, which are monitored and controlled by the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, or more commonly known as ERCOT. Now, ERCOT has been charged by the Texas legislature to control the needs of the electric delivery systems within our great state, and in doing so, they help determine when and where electricity generation is necessary to meet the demands of consumers. As the statewide and regional demands by consumers are managed, the cost to deliver power along transmission lines can fluctuate greatly at varying time periods, and they change several times on a monthly basis. So, because demand is often driven by numerous factors beyond the control of a distribution cooperative, Grayson-Collin Electric is unable to secure a fixed actual cost for electricity delivered to the co-op members' homes and businesses. But they do their best to estimate both the cost and amount of electricity members will consume several years in advance in order to set rates that will cover all of the co-op's operating costs. When the wholesale power bill comes each month, the co-op compares the actual prices paid with the estimated costs according to their budget. This differential reflects what is referred to as the power cost recovery factor, as seen on every member's bill. While it sounds complicated, it's really not. PCRF is simply the difference between the actual cost of wholesale power and the estimated costs. As was mentioned earlier, there are other line items on some bills depending on your service location and type of account. Now, it's very important to keep in mind that electric cooperatives are not-for-profit organizations. The money collected for PCRF is on a penny-for-penny basis. When the estimated cost is lower than that actual cost, it must be added to the bill. But there have been times when the estimated costs were actually higher, and in that case, the PCRF becomes a credit. So, Willie, will you agree that this is a pretty fair explanation for PCRF? Great! Oh, but I almost forgot to mention another important variable when it comes to commercial accounts: demand charges. This is required in order to recover a portion of the fixed costs associated with the delivery of electric service. It's calculated on the basis of the highest demand over a 15-minute period of time during the monthly billing cycle. At Grayson-Collin Electric, commercial accounts are classified as either small or large. So be sure to visit www.grayson-collin.coop for more details about demand rates as they apply to commercial accounts. The costs involved for demand pays for the cooperative to have lines of an appropriate size, a transformer that can meet peak requirements, and other services such as equipment, supplies, and personnel to meet the power needs of commercial plants, facilities, and other businesses. Another important line item we find on a co-op bill is for the energy charges. This is calculated by multiplying each metered kilowatt hour consumed by the applicable rate. The rate is calculated to cover the costs of wholesale power and the operation costs at the cooperative. And finally, there's the base fee line item. This is the minimum fee charged to recover a portion of the fixed costs of operation at the cooperative. This fee allows the price per kilowatt to be lower because some of the operations cost is guaranteed to be recovered each month. Now, if you live within the limits of an incorporated city or town, Uncle Sam comes calling with sales tax requirements. Some cities charge a sales tax, much in the same way that you pay for purchases at retail stores throughout Texas. Additionally, many of the cities served by cooperatives charge a franchise fee as well. A franchise fee is a charge for the use of city right-of-ways to provide utility services. Members within cities or towns requiring a fee will also find a line item detailing the franchise fees. Franchise fees do not apply to members living in rural areas. Well, Willie, I hope that helps our members to have a more accurate and clearer understanding of their electricity costs. Our mission is simple: to provide the very best service possible at the least possible cost. Something we have been doing for close to 80 years now.